All right, Mike, go ahead.
Good morning. How you doing? Obi talked about defenders needing to learn different positions. Is that the same for you? Are you having to learn safety and cornerback positions? Are you having to learn field and boundary positions? What's been going into that?
I mean, as a secondary, we're all in the room together. So when one player is getting coached, you might hear something that might help your game get better. So we all kind of hearing everything that's being coached from our secondary, and you kind of pick up on things. So we're going through everything real thorough, trying to get it right. And we've had a lot of time throughout, since March to refine our skills and refine our knowledge of the defense. So I feel like, everybody's kind of picked up on every position.
Ben, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, what would you say? A couple things. First, what would you say is kind of your role in this defense right now? And then also, you got a couple of years of eligibility left, but would you consider using this extra year to come back for an additional year?
I say my role on the defense, it's kind of a weird question, but I just say we all come here to work, and sometimes I got to be a vocal leader. Sometimes I got to be talking to guys on the side, helping them out with stuff. Sometimes I'm on the field doing things, so we all kind of are helping each other kind of do things on the field, helping each other see things. I may pull a D lineman aside, kind of ask him what he's doing and kind of how it helps me with my fits on things. So it's kind of like we're kind of like working together as one unit and kind of gelling. And the second question, I really don't know. That's kind of in the future. I'm really into now, like how we're doing in practice, working on my degree. That's really important to me. So I feel like the eligibility stuff, it's not really important at this time. It's really kind of improving every single day, working hard on my academics, and just enjoying the college life, really.
Tracy, go ahead.
Hey there. Want to ask you a little bit about the scheme. Does the new 4-2-5, does that scheme change your role much? And I know Mike asked about boundary and field. Is it more like boundary and field responsible than it was before?
Honestly, things are pretty much the same as last year. We still had the same roles in the secondary, still had the same. It's really the same all around. We may have a few new terminologies for things, but it's all the same defenses, really. Nothing really has changed.
How has Brian Norwood kind of impacted just not the secondary, but the defense and the scheme overall?
Coach Norwood, he's a light. He's a great man. He has a lot of wisdom to him. Coach Speed as well. He joined our room. So those are just two great men with a lot of knowledge about football, a lot of knowledge about life. And they just bring a lot to our defense. They bring a lot on the field. They also bring a lot off the field. With the two events we had, with the backpack giveaway and the food giveaway, also the voting matters. That's kind of Coach Norwood has had his hand in those, helping us not only grow as football players, but being able to grow as men, which is important to all of us.
Thanks.
Rick Kimbrell.
Kind of along the same lines, has Coach Norwood brought any wrinkles, any little differences that is going to help the defense? And what is it going to take for you guys to become a dominating defense?
Coach Norwood, he brings, like I said, he brings new knowledge, new wisdom, having his own journey, own path to get here. So, he's bringing his own tools, his own knowledge about the position, the safety position, as well as the corner and the nickel. And he's bringing wisdom on that and being able to share with guys. So they're adding more. Everybody's getting better because he's teaching us new things. And what was the second part? Can you repeat that, please?
What is it going to take? What do you guys have to improve on to become a dominating defense that's going to help you guys win some games this fall?
The one thing that's important and what he's been harping on since he got here is just running to the ball and playing real good team defense. We're all one unit. We all playing together. So we line up with our brothers. So if your brother's out there trying to make a tackle, you want to run out there too and kind of help them out. So we preach, every position group preaching is just get 11 men to the ball. You know, things happen when you run to the ball. You might get a fumble, you might get a tip, get an interception. You know, you never really know. So it's just all 11 men running to the ball, playing hard for each other, and really having that intimidating, that force. Because when 11 men are going to the ball, like that's a real scary sight. So just having everyone playing hard, playing for each other, and playing for the team, really.
The back four's best friend is the front seven. How are they performing in practice? Is anybody standing out?
Oh yeah. The front seven, they doing great. You know, the D line, they're doing great. You know, they get into the football. The linebackers and both the outside and the inside, you know, they're playing well with the run fits. I feel like as a defense, we're really gelling together as we get reps during this time, and we're getting great competition with the offense. They're doing great things too, you know. So it's really every single day we're coming out here ready to have a good time, ready to get our brothers better, and, you know, ready to compete and prepare for the season ahead of us.
Anybody standing out in the front seven for you? Anybody really taking their game to the next level?
I mean, I feel like they all doing pretty well. Like the new guys are doing really well too. Caleb Johnson, he's been doing well. Jakari, but all the guys really have been working well. You know, working together. You know, improving from each other, and I feel like everybody's kind of taking jumps. You know, being better than they were during the spring, being better than they were during last year, and every day we're coming out here ready to get that a little bit better and be able to prepare for the season ahead.
Tracy.
Talking about some of the newcomers, new guys in the secondary, tell us a little bit about how they've been doing, what your opinion of them are so far during camp.
I say the two older guys, Obi Ebo and Q Knight, you know, they've been well. You know, they have knowledge from their schools and their coaches that they got, so we all kind of feed off each other and are able to improve. And I mean, the young guys like DJ, Parker, John, Evan, all our young guys, you know, they, you know, they're learning, they're trying to absorb everything they can from the older guys, but they playing real hard. You know, they kind of inspiring us as well to, you know, improve and make plays out there. So we kind of secondary, we gelling together, we getting tight, and we really kind of feeding off each other. Somebody makes a play, we all on the sideline getting hyped. You know, then the next group goes out there, they trying to make that play as well. So we all competing with the offense. We all learning from each other and coming together to all help each other be our best selves.
How about you? How's your game developed since last year? You're kind of thrown into it last season with the injury to Quentin leg. How has your game advanced at this point?
I say just I just had time to, you know, learn the position more. During the offseason, I had time to really, I mean, during the quarantine, I was at home with my older brother. He's on the Jets, so he taught me a lot of things. We had time to work out together and kind of improve our games. So it was cool to learn from him, and just coming back, bringing that here. We had a lot of time. I've had a lot of time to, you know, like watch extra film, you know, ask some of the older guys questions, ask Q-Leg, ask Jay Shaw, ask Blay, you know, ask Obi, ask everybody questions, you know, learn new things from Coach Norris. So I feel like my mental part of the game has grown definitely, and I feel like, I mean, we're doing a lot on the field and doing a lot in the weight room. So physically, I've been able to grow as well. So I feel like I've just been able to kind of take that next step and be able to be well prepared for the season ahead of us.
You ever race your brother in the 40?
It's not even worth it at that point. That's a fast man. But I mean, we had times, mornings, every day in the week, we go. One of my friends, he let us use his weight room that he had, so we were able to lift, and then we would go to the field right after, you know, speak on concepts, speak on do some different drills, because he was preparing for the draft, so he had new drills that I didn't even know about. So he kind of helped me refine my skills, helped me get better as a defensive back. So I'm very thankful for that time that we had, even though it was amidst some troubling circumstances. But it was a good time at home with my whole family as well.
Thanks, Elijah.
All right, let's wrap it up with that. Thank you, Elisha.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good day.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, Ben, go ahead.
Morning, Quentin.
Good morning.
Take us through kind of last season for you. We didn't get to talk to you much after the first part. You obviously had that injury, but we saw you a lot in practice with that club, and it looked like maybe you were pretty close, but only got to come back at the very end. What was that like? What kind of got you over the hump, and what'd you do with that club? Did you throw it out, or did you keep it as memento?
So last year, I think it was the Oklahoma game, I broke my wrist. And I didn't know how serious it was after the game, but, you know, I think my final decision, talking to my parents, my dad, a couple coaches, I think the best thing for me was the red shirt. The biggest advice I got was my film was my resume. So I didn't want to go out there, you know, have a club or have a broken wrist and not be able to make plays and help the team. So, you know, I went to Coach Kelly and at the time, Coach Rhodes, who was the defensive back coach. And I told him, you know, is there any way I can help the team? And that's why a lot of the time you saw me on the scout field giving the offensive looks, because I was thinking, you know, what can I do rather than sitting on the sideline and being on the defensive field? You know, I could still play, but at the same time, you know, I could give the offense a look. And, you know, from a veteran player, I thought that was the best decision for me. So, and to answer your question, no, I don't have the club. You know, luckily everything's good with my wrist. So, you know, we're back healthy. So that's a good thing.
Did you throw it out?
Yeah, I threw it out. I don't know. Yeah.
Thanks.
Mike.
Morning, how you doing?
Good morning.
Can you talk about the influence that Coach Brian Norwood has had on the secondary specifically? You know, how has bringing responsibilities to the field and the boundary, you know, helped break down, you know, you know, tweaks to the defense, and how is that going to help the defense overall?
You know, Coach Norwood has been a big influence for a lot of the guys. I think his coaching style is a little bit different than, you know, a lot of the coaches I've had in the past, in which, you know, he takes his perspective and the way he coaches and he singles it out on every player. He doesn't coach every player the same, which I like a lot. No, he's not going to coach me the same as a young player. He's not going to coach a young player the same as me, which I really respect, because it's like everybody learns differently. Everybody understands the game differently, which I like. In terms of the defense, he's really simplified the defense. You know, he's made it easy. He's made it, you know, he's allowed us to play fast and play physical. And I think the biggest thing for me is, you know, he lets us go out there and be free, you know, have a little fun. And I think for a lot of the guys, he's brought fun back to football. So, you know, I really respect that from him.
Ben, did you have another?
Yeah. How does your role change at all with what you guys are doing right now?
No, my role hasn't changed. I'm still doing the same thing.
Rick, go ahead.
Hi, Quentin. Good to see you, buddy.
You too.
Hey, what do you guys have to do as a defense to become a dominating defense so that you guys can help win football games this fall?
Yeah, that's the question of the century, isn't it? I think the biggest thing for us is, you know, just play physical, play fast. You know, although you guys aren't here at practice, it's been really good. You know, we've been running sideline to sideline. We're fast. You know, a couple of days we've been dominating the offense. So, you know, I have high hopes. Now, in terms of the season, it's just really locking in and watching film. You got to be a student of the game. You got to understand, you know, what teams are going to do and how they're going to attack you. So I think the biggest thing for us is really locking in the film study, because I know we have the talent. I know we have, you know, the guys that can go out there physically and all that. but it's a matter of just really understanding the game and understanding how teams are going to attack you and counter that. So the biggest thing, to answer your question, I would say film study this year. That's a big thing.
The front seven is the back four's best friend. How have they improved? Are they putting pressure on the QB during camp? And also, are you guys how's the tackling going?
Oh, well, repeat the last phrase.
And how's the tackling going?
Okay, yeah. In terms of the front seven, the guys are looking real good. You got guys like Osa, Daytona, Mitchell Agude, Miles Jackson. They're all looking real fresh. They're healthy, which is the biggest thing. And it's been a blessing to have them up front because it makes our job a lot easier. So I think they've been doing a really good job. They've been getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, so I like that. And then in terms of tackling, this year we kind of changed our motto a little bit. We're just going out there and we're running full speed. Instead of hesitating, our coaches are telling us to just go, just go full speed, track that near hip, really lock in, keep your eyes right when you're tackling. So, I think in terms of tackling, we're going to be a real good defense when it comes to tackling.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
Mike, did you have another?
Obviously, the front seven is different from you guys, but you guys have to work, symbiotically. What are you seeing? Are you seeing more of an aggressive pass rush? What are you seeing from the front seven? And is there anyone sticking out where you're thinking, well, my God, he's going to give offensive trouble?
Yeah, all the guys are doing real well. But if I had to single one out, it has to be Osa. You guys know him. He's huge, dominant, knows the game, physical. He can really he's like 2-3 D linemen in himself. So, really pay attention to Osa this year, and I think he's going to have a breakout season. But in terms of your question, I think Osa is one of the most dominant. I think he's one of the most dominant players in college football, if not on this team, but in college football. So, keep your eyes on him for sure.
Ben.
Last thing, you mentioned Norwood bringing fun to you guys. Can you give me some examples of that?
Yeah, it's not really fun. Well, it's really my definition of fun. Some coaches, it's their way or their highway. And I'm not saying that's bad, but it doesn't really give the players a lot of freedom, a lot of choice. So when I say fun, I mean, like, we have the ability to, go out to him, ask him, reach out to him, and there's a level of player and coach understanding, which I really like. That's where it's fun. It's not necessarily like, it's the coach's way or no way. It's more, if the player says something, there's more of a collaborative effort to get to a final result, if that makes sense. So in terms of fun, that's what I mean. And then we do stuff outside of football. We just ask each other, personal questions and stuff like that. So it's a good environment. Not necessarily fun as in like celebrations and all that on the field, but it's more fun as in, a lot of freedom on the field.
Got it. Thank you.
Rick, you want to take the last one?
Tell us how the offense is looking. How's DTR looking? Who's looking good at running back? All that good stuff. And is the offensive line coming together and gelling?
Yeah. It's funny because Dorian's my locker mate, so we talk all the time. We kind of have we play chess all the time. So me and him talk all the time. It's kind of like an offensive defensive battle when it comes to me and him. But Dorian's looking good. He's looking fast. He's healthy. He knows where to put the ball in the right places. And I think if he leads them in the right direction, the offense is going to be real dangerous. In terms of the rest of our offense, guys like Demetric Felton, Keegan Jones, Casimir, Jalen Irwin, Kyle Phillips, of course. If everybody's playing on the right, everything's clicking on the offense could be real lethal. And then in terms of the offensive line, they're looking good. I know the defensive line has beat them up a couple of times, but they're coming along real well. So in terms of the overall offense, I think they're doing really well. Coming into these final weeks, going into the season, I think they'll really start clicking. And then you'll see, the results when it comes to Saturdays. I think they'll be really good and be able to put points on the scoreboard. So I'm excited to see them. I'm excited.
All right. Thank you for your time, Q.
No problem. Thank you so much.